Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this topic all about how do you pick a best CRM that's going to help your business move forward, help hold your sales team accountable, and help you produce great long-term results. I'm, of course, Ambrose Blowfield from the Sales Mastery Company, coming to you live from a lazy boy here in Auckland, New Zealand. Forgive me, I'm lower on the screen than I usually would be because, unfortunately, somebody up the mountains took out my knee. So I had a dislocated kneecap, and therefore I have to sit in a certain position to be able to get my way through. Now, hopefully you're not too squeamish and that hasn't put you off. In this 10 to 15 minute summary, I want to share with you the experience of having CRM conversations with literally hundreds and hundreds of business owners and sales managers over the many years of us coaching thousands of businesses around the world. This is a topic that myself, my wife, and our team have likely had questions almost weekly for the last 18 plus years of us coaching and training people worldwide. It's an ongoing problem and issue. So not only today do I want to highlight 5 of the most popular CRMs in the world right now and give some insights into those, but I also want to make sure you've got the right planning mindset so that you as a salesperson can advise your sales manager or your business owner to make the right decision for you. But particularly today, I want to speak to you as a business owner, sales manager, or sales director to really make sure you're asking the right questions so that when you select the right software, it's going to suit you in particular. Now, hopefully you've accessed this already. I'm just going to share it in the live stream. If you are ever in doubt from the lives or the videos that we send, then be specific. Send us an email to admin@salesmasterycompany.com, and then we can give you the PDFs, the documents, the checklist, or the tools so you can take it away or discuss it. At the same time, whether you're watching this live in LinkedIn, whether you're watching this live on YouTube or whatever in terms of recording, or maybe off the back end of our website, then make sure you access the downloadable documents as well. The video goes and works alongside the documents. The video works by itself. Obviously, the document works by itself, but ultimately the two in combination is going to have exponential impact in you. At the start, obviously, it's got the title, brief background about myself and our team at Sales Mastery Company. I just want to clarify, as I said, just a few key things there. So if we turn to page 3 in the document, I'm sharing it on the screen with you right now. You've got to ask yourself a couple of key questions. One that has changed in the last 18 years of me coaching and training salespeople. Number one is simply that. Okay, are we going to have a solution that suits us for the next 2 to 3 years? That's really all we're looking at. Now, the conversation 20 years ago when we started out in our business was, have we got a solution that's going to suit us for 5 to 10 years? Websites used to be 5 to 10 years. Now it's the next 18 to 36 months. Well, the CRM software is the same. So there's a couple of key things we've absolutely got to do. Whatever software you're looking at, please make sure that you can easily import information through a CSV file in Excel and match fields and upload all of the data, all the background, all the conversations, all of the contacts, all of their, their email addresses and their mobile number or cell phone number and their direct dial number, as well as their standard number. It's got to be able to import naturally. And very, very importantly, please, people, you've got to be able to export away, because this is what's happened. We've been going for 18 years. We've used 6 different CRMs, and we live this, we breathe this, we've been through the problems and the pain points. We've used a number of different ones, and 1 or 2 of them don't really exist anymore in the format of what they were. And a couple of them we even nearly went to. There's one called Bantam Live. We nearly switched to. Going back for 6-7 years. It was great. It was cheap. It was affordable. Great alternative to Salesforce. And we nearly went with it, and we asked in LinkedIn, hey, by the way, does anyone know anything about this? We're about to push go 1 of 2 options. That was 1 of the 2 options. It doesn't exist anymore. So easy in and easy out via a CSV file in Excel. It's non-negotiable in my opinion. Number 2, please, any software you're going with, I appreciate there's a nice person down the road that's done some amazing development. It's unique to your sector and industry. If it ain't cloud-based, I'm sorry, in this day and age, 9 times out of 10, 19 times out of 100, in fact, 99 times out of 100, you've got to pick a system that's cloud-based, because you don't want it all to be on your server, because your server may break and then you're wholly responsible for that. And you don't want it to be fully loaded up onto everybody's laptop, because what if they drop, burn, flood their laptop, quit the company, everything's loaded onto them. You want something that's going to be synced, ideally synced live, or at least within every single hour. You've got to go for cloud-based. It's lower risk and it's lower upfront costs. and you're not dependent on one person managing your server or one developer on planet Earth understanding the intricacies. Now, I get the fact that many of our clients around the world have evolved their system. They've got a great bit of software and they've evolved their system to incorporate a CRM. And they've got this great local developer who comes on site for a few hours every week or every month and tweaks and improves it. And I get the fact it's hard to unpick that. And I also understand the developer does not want to make it easy for you to leave them because eventually you will. But I'm sorry to say it's an inevitable outcome. You will eventually leave somebody's software that is proprietary-based software loaded exclusively onto a server or onto individual laptops or desktops. At some point, you will leave. It's just a matter of when, 99 times out of 100. I'm sorry, but that is the nature. Equally, just because your friend down the road in an unrelated business loves their CRM does not mean it is the best CRM for you. Too often I've talked to people almost in tears or certainly emotional, and they say, look, can you come in to train the salespeople? And I say, out of interest, look, in terms of your sales process, what CRM you're using, and everyone looks at the floor or goes blush beetroot red, or they look shameful and embarrassed, and it's like, no, what's going on? And it's emotional then. And it's like, well, when I say, out of interest, how did you select the CRM? And kind of all the salespeople look at their feet. And then the business owner or the sales manager says, oh, well, sort of, I asked around and, well, okay, well, what I realized was, and the answer is my cousin, my friend, my associate, my former colleague used the software, told me it was amazing. I took it on face value and I never fully evaluated it. And please, people, tested it. So 2 critical factors you must do when selecting a CRM. Number 1, test it. That means you, the sales manager or business owner, and 1 or 2 of your salespeople, not necessarily your best salespeople either, just a couple of them, have them play around in it. Is it investment of extra time? Yes. Is it distracting to you and to them to do that? Yes. But if you get it wrong, this is a decision for 2 to 3 years. If you get it wrong, the relative cost later is massive. The implication later is massive. If you've got a business owner, a sales manager who stubbornly says, we're going for it, and no one in your sales team has said, yes, I'm on board, then you're going to have resistance at the implementation phase, especially after things go wrong or it becomes difficult later. A couple of other things that's worth keeping in mind, please, people. There is no one software that we have found to rule them all. And that is, there are 3 types of software that most businesses use. There's a software that runs, say, sales and marketing, which is winning jobs. There's a sort of ERP, stock control, production, running the operational side of the business. Often ERP systems are doing the business. And then often we have a finance system to count the cash, track payments, and make sure that we can pay everybody on time. Those are 3 systems. This is what we've learned after 18 years. No one system is perfect across all of them. How can you be a jack of all trades and a master of all trades? No matter what a system is, whatever its origin is, tends to be its natural strength. So in this part of the world in New Zealand, Xero is a great financial software. It is really, really popular. We happen to use it ourselves at this stage, but if they come out with a CRM, they are a financial software system who stepped into the CRM. Salesforce is a CRM software that then stepped into marketing. Yes, it's got customer service plugins. Yes, it's looking into operational development. And yes, they're billionaires, so of course they can invest in development. But its origin is CRM. Likewise, HubSpot's origin is in marketing. Marketo's origin is in marketing, so they're strongest in that. You know, things like the NetSuite are more operational ERP systems, so their origin is where their strength lies, and they've stretched into those areas to take on more. So please keep that in mind, that you're not looking like in Lord of the Rings, there's one ring to rule them all. There is not one software. Now you might say, well, hang on, we're a large business. My clients are not large businesses. They're small to medium businesses. They've normally got 1 to 200 staff maximum, as opposed to 20,000 staff. They can't have a unique system. And certainly one of my best friends has done a system, trained lots of businesses on how to use things like SAP or Oracle. And those are meant to be one system to rule the world. The fact that he's been flown around the world to do it says that even putting in a world-class, large business, enterprise level software, they still need to train on implementation. So it's meant to do everything, but not without extra refinement. So please keep those things in mind. So let's go through a few of the more common ones. These are the ones we're hearing from our clients worldwide. Our clients are in 20 different countries these days, so we're getting live feedback. Number one right now, without question, is Salesforce. It's kind of the one against all, against which all others are measured. And certainly us having used it for about 4 years ourselves, it is a good, solid CRM software. It is simple to use, relatively simple to implement, assuming you're not trying to have the customized plugins where you are going to have to spend extra money to have an agency kind of do the implementation and the customization side of things. And that's where the upfront cost can become significant. As far as we're concerned, from our humble opinion, having clients using this and using it ourselves, and obviously there's a number of clients listed in your workbook who are using this software, we think it's very, very good. We think they've learned a lot of good lessons. They've got some clever Einstein software, is how they refer to it, which is artificial intelligence that can do a lot of clever things. The vast majority of our clients would do well on Salesforce, but from a cost perspective, especially if they need to custom design things, it may be quite expensive for a smaller business. So on a small to medium business range, for a smaller business, it might be too much too soon. And therefore, they might be paying for a lot of functionality that they don't yet need. However, from our opinion, it's well worth having an investigation around this. And no, I'm not an affiliate of them. And no, I don't make any money from what I'm recommending to you today and what my thoughts are today. Number two, Zoho CRM. I've had many clients, and we've also used Zoho in our pre-Salesforce days. We used Zoho, but we developed more, moved into Salesforce. A lot of people, tongue-in-cheek, often say, well, Zoho is kind of like a copycat of Salesforce, but it's slightly simpler with slightly less functionality, but about a quarter of the cost. Now, those are not my words. It's words of our clients reflecting back to me, but it's a very worthwhile little sort of snippet. Often when you've got multiple people describing it as such, and people, our clients, like people like us who've used both, I think that's quite a nice little summary around it. Again, don't quote me on that one, but that's the feedback we get, is that Zoho, I've got clients using Zoho now, just like I've got clients using Salesforce right now. Those are two of the softwares that we have used and that we've definitely experienced. The third one is Oracle, as I said, deemed to be a large business operating system. It can do all the bells and whistles around it, but it tends not to sit within the client base that we've got when they've got 100 staff or less in particular. It often becomes way too much, lots of scoping up front, 3 to 6 months to implement typically, because you've got to refine it and custom build it and things like that. But we do have to acknowledge that at a global level, it's deemed to be, one of the top 5 CRMs from different people's research. Another one that is kind of grown off the back end, and a lot of people seem to approach it from almost a customer service, customer experience perspective, is Zendesk. It's probably worth throwing into the mix if you are looking at the next software. It operates, in terms of on your mobile and on an app perspective, like a lot of them do these days. Certainly the first two I've mentioned today have moved into that, being, more remote-based, more tablet-based these days as well. But it's well worth throwing into a mix. These were kind of almost later rivals into the game from a CRM perspective compared to others. They're not as established as others, although they are as a brand and as business, but not necessarily in the CRM market. And the fifth one that I'm finding people definitely going to these days is HubSpot, which again, I want to stress, just like Pardot, which is what Salesforce bought, and likewise Marketo, the origin of HubSpot was more to develop a theme around inbound marketing as a sales and marketing strategy. What is inbound marketing? It's a topic we've covered on previous videos before, and we train people in our sales mastery program on and our sales academy on. Inbound marketing is where you're pushing out, good content. Think about tools, think about videos like this, think about downloadable documents, and you're going to nurture and develop with marketing to have a marketing qualified lead, which then comes in as a formal lead where your sales team can then see what videos people watch, what articles they read. So they're very informed and educated as a sales team, and you're meeting a client later in the sales process. That's where HubSpot's very, very strong. So the CRM kind of dovetails into that, where it's more of that integrated marketing into sales. As with Salesforce, however, for some of our clients, they love the idea of HubSpot, but they're not ready for inbound marketing, or it doesn't suit their sector and industry. They read the stats that HubSpot keep writing about, which is 65% of the client journey has already operated before even a salesperson gets involved. That might well be the global average, but is it the average for your sector and for your market? because ultimately I want to help you make the right decision for your business. So please discuss this video with your colleagues. Make sure that you've actually reviewed this document. Ask deeper questions. Test any software you're looking to go to, multiple people at the team as opposed to just the one sales leader. And very importantly, ask whatever software you're going to, ask if you can speak to some of their customers in your sector. They might well be your competitors, but believe me, they're not going to tell you confidential information that they're not willing to share. So please, you've got to speak to 2 or 3 referees and get actual references of actual people. Not you want to see a video of them, not you want to read what they've said, but you want to ask them, how would this work? How does this work? What was implementation like? What are the real costs? How many times do you need to tweak it later on? Shout them a bottle of whiskey or a bottle of wine or some chocolates to say thank you for your time. But that is critical. In the same way, recruiting salespeople, even if you use an agency, you've got to do the reference checking yourself. Now, this as a topic, as I mentioned, is one we cover in our Sales Mastery Academy. Our Sales Mastery Academy is when people need high levels of accountability to make sure that they learn and grow world-class techniques across the 4 growth areas of sales, whether that's winning new business, growing their existing accounts proactively, whether it's maximizing their sales process for inbound, or even converting without discounting. That's what we live and breathe at the Sales Mastery Company. Our Sales Academy is all about maximizing people's accountability to implement in those areas, not just to learn, but to implement. And that's what we love on the Sales Academy. So if you want this downloadable document, flick us an email, admin@salesmasterycompany.com, or comment on one of our social media posts, and hopefully one of my team will pick up on that very, very quickly. If you want to know more about the Sales Mastery Academy, use the document to click on the link, or hopefully you'll see in the comment section a link to book a scale-up call. It's a 15-minute phone call with one of our founders where we can ascertain where are you now, where are you going, and can we help? It's free of charge. Often the meeting that follows that is free of charge. We want to see businesses grow, particularly in that small to medium business sector. And we also want you to select the right CRM software for your business. I'm Ambrose Blowfield. We're the Sales Mastery Company. And as always, be sure to take action. Hello there, Ambrose here again to say thank you for watching this video. As always, I want to implore you to take action and to share the lessons you've learned. Meanwhile, something you could do to help us in our mission to help countless and thousands of small to medium family businesses the world over to be more prosperous, be more confident, and have a greater impact in the causes they support. And that is, of course, comment